Well, let's move right on. And Apollo Hospitals in the spotlight. Let's understand a little bit more then about their strong Q2 performance, with the street seems to be cheering. What are their plans for expansion, and will the growth in Tier 2 and 3 cities sustain? We've got Suneeta Reddy, Managing Director at Apollo Hospitals, with us. Thank you so much for taking time out. It has been a pretty strong set of numbers in a seasonally strong quarter, of course, but what would you attribute the growth to, and how have occupancy rates shaped up?
So the results have been very good, very strong. Total revenue at 5,559 crores, representing a 15% growth in total revenue. EBITDA grew by 30% to 816 crores. And more importantly, our margins also improved to 14.6. EBITDA margin also improved by 164 basis points to 14.6, and our profit grew by 60% to 379 crores. This is Apollo Hospitals consolidated. If you were to break it up to healthcare services, our healthcare services were 2,980 crores, and our EBITDA was at 722 crores, which represented a 14% increase in revenue and in EBITDA. Profit was at 364 crores, and that was a good growth of 16%. So healthcare services did very well. Occupancy was at 73%.
Right. And what about your ARPOB this quarter? And last time you had said that it's going to be supported by pricing. So how much is the pricing contribution now?
So there was our ARPOB was at 59,111, close to 60,000 rupees. But this is system-wide ARPOB. Of course, it was higher in the metro cities, and there was a tariff increase of 3%. So the rest of the growth in healthcare services, of the 14%, 8% came from volume.
Right, and the company was expected to come into profit by the end of this year. Are you on track for AHLL to do the same?
If you look at AHL, which is Apollo Health Co., total revenues of 2,282 crores, and of which offline revenue was at 2,014 crores, which is an 18% growth, and EBITDA was at 150 crores, and a margin of 7.6%. So very good growth in the offline as well as online, which grew by 17%. And on the whole, there was a switch. It was EBITDA positive by 52 crores and PAT positive by 19 crores, and that's a huge delta, which benefited the whole group. Apollo Health and Lifestyle revenue at 404 crores, which represents a 14% increase. EBITDA grew by 31% to 41 crores, and it was a negative PAT of just minus 4 crores. But otherwise, very strong performance in diagnostics, which grew by 9%.
And what about the performance in the Western region? Because, earlier you had said that you are facing competition in regions like Ahmedabad. How has that been this quarter?
No, I think Ahmedabad, there are many new players that have come in Ahmedabad, but we are still profitable, and we're concentrating on three COEs which are doing very well, which is cardiac, orthopedic, and gastro, and all of them are doing very well. We are putting in place a strategy to make sure that that hospital is outstanding in performance. Let me say that. The rest of the West, very good. Nasik is on track, not losing money, EBITDA positive. New Bombay is doing very well and has grown at 15 to 18%. New Bombay is grown at 18%. So very strong growth coming from the Western region.
Right, and the company had a target of about 1,000 crore GMV per quarter in the next 6 years. Are you on track for this? And, in September, you also incorporated the wholly owned subsidiary by the name Apollo 24/7 Insurance Services. What are the plans for the insurance business?
Okay, so the first thing on GMV is definitely there was a growth of now of 12%. And more importantly, I think that profitable growth is what we're looking at. The team is working towards a goal of 1,000 crores. And as I said earlier, they are focusing on making sure they're profitable. The second aspect of it is that, they've really improved efficiency of operations. They're piloting projects in Delhi and the mega cities where they do a 19-minute turnaround time. So that really makes them one of the leading digital players. The second thing that you asked about insurance, yes, they've got permission to do insurance broking and they're offering top-up policies. I think you will see traction on that in the fourth quarter.
Right. And, you've also entered into a definitive agreement to build, operate, and manage a 500-bed hospital, which is going to be established in Worli in Mumbai. We're also proposing to expand its existing hospital facility in Lucknow to about 500 beds from the current 300. Tell us more about this expansion and how much more expansion are you really eyeing going forward?
Well, Apollo is definitely looking at network expansion. We're looking at close to 3,000 beds. What is firmed up in this is definitely Wadley, where we're adding 500 beds. Second is Calcutta, which is a brownfield project where we're adding 250 beds. We're also adding beds in Pune. Currently, we have 250, but we'll, over the next 48 months, we'll make that into 350. So Pune is the third. The Gurgaon will open very shortly in the first quarter of the next year, and there we will have 400 beds. In Lucknow, we're adding 150 beds, which is an expansion on the site next to our existing hospital. So Lucknow will become a 500-bed facility. We've also adding Hyderabad, where we're growing the network, and we're adding one in Gachibowli, which is again another 300 beds. We have secured land in Varanasi, and this should go on stream by 27-28.
Right, and the metro markets have a better ROCE for the company than the non-metro markets. So how much will this acquisition in Worli help improve your ROCE?
No, I think Tier 2 in terms of cost structures are lower. So very good ROC is coming from hospitals there, in higher around 18% or even higher, and we're seeing good growth coming from these cities. Very, very good growth. They grew by 20% this quarter. So we're very optimistic about growth all over. I think all of the places where we've shown is up markets where there is huge demand for quality healthcare. And with this, Apollo will have an all-India network, which comprises not just of hospitals, but of clinics, daycare services, cradles, and everything connected through 24/7, which is present in 19,000 PIN codes, and also with the 6,300 pharmacies that they have.
Right. But how much will your ROCE be for Worli, and can you give us a number exactly?
It's an IRR of 16.5%.
Okay, great, Ms. Reddy. Thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with us today. That's the word coming in from the management of Apollo Hospitals.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.